Yo, bros, and welcome to the Gauntlet. I am your host, Wii2BEAT, and welcome to day two of me trying to get a shiny Galarian Slowpoke. That number for the name, that represents how many Slowpokes I have hatched. 210 on day one. And I don't plan on slowing down. So here we go. Problem is I'm in the middle of doing something else, and it involves Gyarados. But I can just fly my way back to Turf Field, right over here, and we can get started. I had my big Gigantamax Pikachu that I was using to defeat Gyarados with. Kamisama has already been added to the game, but now I'm just trying to find a shiny Gyarados in this game. We are off, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try my hardest. Excuse me, kind of choked on my spill. I'm gonna try my hardest not to complain and have a cow in this episode. No matter who shows up or if no one shows up. I'm gonna really try not to do that. I can't be live streaming the whole day anyways. I have to be leaving before 10:20. Realistically, before 10:20. Because wait, you have an egg, right? Yeah, you have an egg. I'm also going the wrong way compared to what I was doing last time. Still tired, by the way. In case you didn't know it, I woke up 2 minutes before the Animal Crossing New Horizons direct came on. So I was thoroughly unprepared. In fact, I was setting up as I was recording the footage, which I was like a minute late for, about roughly about a minute. So you can watch that on my Wii2Play channel that is up already. I had actually planned on live streaming um that, but it was too late. I was too tired. Plus, I just kind of thought about what I'm gonna do differently for Animal Crossing. Just Animal Crossing content. Oh, jeez, I forgot to turn off the camera. You don't see it, but there's a camera function I was using on my laptop, which right now is also the same computer I'm using to live stream with. Gosh dang, I'm tired. I'm a little more awake than I was, but still. Couldn't go back to sleep even if I wanted to. One, because once I'm awake, usually I won't try to close my eyes again until maybe the afternoon when I take a little cat nap. Two, there's other noise going on. You can't hear it. Luckily, I can't hear it right now, but once I start hearing certain noises, I just can't go back to sleep at all. It's just impossible. Not unless I put on some earphones that connect to my TV and listen to like tranquil music on YouTube while in the other room. So I'll worry about counting them later because that's just gonna take its own time to do. What? Oh, oh, I forgot to. Whoopsie, my bad. Those eggs belong over here. Okay, let's do that. Actually, wouldn't it have been easier if I... Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I'm stuck doing this. But I feel like it would have been easier if I had done something akin to... Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Never mind. Oh, for the love of... Would you just work? Sheesh. Sorry I'm not putting any custom Pokemon music on. You know, if you guys know of some people who make remixes and arrangements of certain themes, like from Pokemon, and they're okay with someone else showcasing their work on other YouTube videos, let me know. Let me know. I might be interested in that. Nothing too techno rave crazy though. I mean, I like some techno rave music, but I got kind of my own style I'm going for. Maybe a little bit more smooth jazz, but still with an upbeat tempo. Kind of like that music I like to use on my weekend waves on my Wii2Play channel. Again, remember, I've got more than one YouTube channel now. It's mostly the two, Wii2Play and Wii2BEAT. Although I would like to make a Wii2Play Advanced. See, if you don't know what that is me playing non-Nintendo IPs or more mature rated games. Or at least rated T. You know, stuff that's a little bit more outside my comfort zone. Like Call of Duty, for example, or Halo. It's just an idea I've been trying to debating on in my head. That was supposed to be for my Brenton Brushworks channel, which again, another channel I've made. Kind of lacking on that one. But I feel like playing all those more mature teen rated non Nintendo IPs would work better on a different channel. Because my Brenton Brushworks channel's basically for blogs and more other non-Nintendo IPs that are not quite as hardcore, such as Carpet Golf VR. One day, one day I'll go back to that. There's actually many more courses I need to do. Plus, I'm sure you guys would love to see me make my own golf courses. And in case you didn't know about that, that was something I kind of started to teasingly showcase in a drawing live stream of all things. But yeah, I can create my own carpet golf courses. Why am I talking about this on Wii2BEAT? I don't know. I just talk about anything until I just run out of topics to talk about. Could talk about Animal Crossing. I had to watch the direct twice because I knew for a fact that I had missed some stuff while I was setting up the camera or giving my silly little banter. Like I missed seeing Nook's Cranny Good old fashioned Nook's Cranny in Animal Crossing New Horizons. So that was kind of neat to see. And the Able sisters. See, I didn't notice the Able sisters until one of the player characters was going to change. And I didn't even notice when they went to change, there was this whole giant array of outfits that could be chosen. And I think bought them. I feel like Animal Crossing New Horizons is a game I'll appreciate much more once I start playing it. My fear, though, is when I decide to just stop for a while and then I don't come back to it for months. Animal Crossing is not a game that you can do that with. They track real world hours and days, obviously. And it'll just make me look bad as a quote unquote Animal Crossing fan if there's months that I don't play it, like I do with Fortnite and apparently Super Mario Maker 2. Apparently I do that too. Luckily, I made a Super Mario Maker 2 video recently on Wii2BEAT. It was me and Cohen Bros playing levels together, mostly new ones, and trying to see if we can beat it while being in each other's space, playing on one screen. It was fun and it was hectic, but it was definitely fun. One of my biggest problems. Okay, I've got several big problems. First off, in case you've been living under a rock for a while, I have not been able to provide much footage, like hardly anything for YouTube, because I have been packing and unpacking for my mother. See, I'll try to make the story as quick as possible, but she lives in an apartment complex like me. I live in an apartment. Hi. living by living by the paychecks I don't receive, more so compensation from the government because of SSI and stuff like that. But anyways, since my mom lives in an apartment, she has to follow the manager's apartment rules. Well, without going into very, very grim details, some bad things happened in mom's apartment complex. Not mom's apartment, but apartments near her. Some really, really bad, even morbid stuff happened. So there was a new manager that was in charge of the apartments, and then just before fall, every apartment tenant in mom's apartment complex, let's just say Bristlecone, all the apartment complexes on Bristlecone were warned that every single apartment would have to get renovations. And every person who lived in one of the Bristlecone apartments would have to pack up every single belonging that wasn't tied down or bolted to a wall and spend time in a hotel for a week while renovations were being done to the apartments. This was done for two reasons. One, to make the places nicer, fresh coat of paint, but mostly two, this is a double-edged sword moment. They were checking for really bad things. Stuff people might be hiding in apartments. In fact, I can guarantee you that three different families were kicked out of Bristlecone because the apartment manager and the people doing the renovations found very unsavory stuff inside those apartments. Can't say what they are. In fact, I don't know what it was. But personally, knowing some of the stories of why this new apartment manager, I can say for certainty that it would be a non friendly, kappa induced conversation that I don't want to get myself involved in. So here's the deal: my mom has roughly a month about to pack everything up that wasn't some heavy piece of furniture like a couch or this glass cabinet she has where she keeps all her most valuable knickknacks and pictures and things she's gotten from vacations. She had to pack everything that wasn't too heavy to lift or, like I said, bolted or screwed into the wall into boxes. My mom is poor. I'm just going to mention that right now. My mom is dirt cheap poor. And my family used to not be like that, but things have changed. I won't go too far into that. But she had to get boxes, so many empty boxes and packing tape and wrap so she could wrap up the dishes, like moving wrapping paper, kind of U-Haul stuff, so nothing would get broken. The idea was everything would either be moved into a quote unquote pod, which is like a trailer where they keep stuff, or into a separate apartment room for more delicate things or things that mom has less of a time trusting other people to hold on to. And then there was stuff she just told me to hold on to, including all of her refrigerated and non refrigerated food. I'm serious. I started to make kind of a small video about that on Brenton Brushworks. My entire refrigerator and freezer was just stuffed with mom's food. I couldn't buy most of the things I usually buy when I grocery shop because I was holding on to mom's food. And then you get bags and bags of food from the cabinet, dried food, canned food, food in boxes that requires you cook it, stuff like that. Now, one thing I didn't know about, and thank goodness when I did make the Brenton Brushworks video, I didn't make it too soon. But one thing I was fully unaware of is mom would let me have access to whatever food I wanted to have. By that, I mean whatever food she was holding on to that I wanted to have. But mom's taste in food doesn't always match my own, and I'll be honest, some of that dry food, canned food stuff was really expired. It's like I don't even know why we couldn't go through that food and get rid of everything we knew was bad. But talk about bad. This whole moving thing was a complete mess from start to finish to the part where it wasn't supposed to be as bad. I am going to rip into Bristlecomb's apartment people. Not the people living in the apartments, the people renovating the apartments. Because they did the worst job I have ever seen. And honestly, and yes, I'm starting to get mad again. Honestly, I feel like the majority of them should be fired. They did horrible. Absolutely horrible. So imagine. You get done packing everything, and that's already a nightmare in itself because mom's saying, "Oh, we shouldn't put this stuff together. We should keep this stuff separate. No, this box isn't ready to be completely packed up because we need room to put something else in. Oh, I don't want to move that into the pod. I want to keep it with me." And then you have mom's daughter, which I am tempted to say something more about, but I'll keep it to myself. And she's being a pain. And by a pain, I mean she's counter arguing mom's points. It's like mom wants to bring the DVD player and all her electronics and my sister's electronics with her into the motel. And my sister, no, she doesn't want to have anything to do with that. She says, well, the hotel's just going to, room is going to be packed as much as it is in this house. We shouldn't bring it. We should bring it because I don't trust people. And it just goes off and on and on and on and on like that. Over and over and over. I can't stress this enough, guys. Without video footage, this was the worst part of last year and arguably the worst part of this year. From 2019 to 2020, I was dealing with this whole packing thing. And once everything was packed, once everything was in pods or in another apartment or my apartment or mom's car or wherever the heck she wants it, it didn't end. It did not end. I guess one thing to mention quickly, the hotel mom was staying at, their washrooms weren't working. So she almost got me to go over to her hotel apartment, take her clothes, and wash them at my washroom. It's like, no, 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 no. I have done more than enough for you. You would not have been able to get all that stuff moved out of that apartment without me, Galaxy Wiss, and Cohen Bros. Because she does not have the money to afford movers. She had to rely on her own children to move every single thing. And as I said, and I can't emphasize this enough, after all the packing, after she stayed in the motel, and after she came back, especially after she came back, the nightmare did not end. We came to an apartment where the bathroom door was ripped off its hinges. The heat wasn't running. The heater wasn't put together correctly. The floors were a mess. I mean, we went from having carpet in the living room to hard flooring. That was a mess. There was boxes that had things written on it, like this goes to the living room, this goes to the upstairs bedroom to the right, this goes to the storage. Almost everything was not in its right place. So you write living room on one of the boxes, and you find a box that's for the living room upstairs in the bedroom. Not only that, they broke countless amounts of things. Now, one of the things we were told is that we would get paid back if anything was broken, but these are supposed to be professional movers, absolutely professional. They get paid to do this stuff. And they broke countless amounts of things from my sister, including a sentimental coffee mug that was customized for her, something like that. It was a mess. It was an absolute train wreck of a mess. And mom made it worse. Because, well, not even mom. I'm going to blame my sister for this one. Because my sister convinced my mom that we should move different things to different rooms. We should move the rooms around. She was saying, "Oh, my bedroom is too small. That's why it's always a mess." I don't even want to start talking about the whole part where my sister's room looks like something from Hoarders. I don't even want to start that. But she said and convinced my mom that my place, my room would not be nearly as bad, which, by the way, complete lie, absolute 100% BS. My room would not be as much of a mess if I had a bigger space. So we would move the upstairs study to the downstairs bedroom, and the study would be moved. Um, okay, the study. Uh, this goes all over the place. Okay, so my sister would move a room over, so she would have a bigger bedroom. That bigger room used to be the study. So the study would be moved downstairs into this other room, which used to be like an artist studio type of thing, the crafts room, as my mom puts it. So then the crafts room now has to go upstairs and be moved into the smaller room. And yet there's this bookcase that's super big and heavy, and that's supposed to go to the study, but the study is now downstairs. It's like, no, 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 no. We are not moving that bookshelf all the way downstairs. Not happening. So it was just this whole giant thing about where do these boxes now go? How does mom want it organized? And this went on for like another month or a half, possibly a month and a half, if not 2 months. I might be exaggerating there. I'm going to say a month. But this whole packing, unpacking thing went on for a good 4 months, for sure. And it distracted me from anything I wanted to do and everything that I needed to do. My living room looks like a tornado hit it. And even though I've been bad at housekeeping before, a lot of the stuff that's just strewn around in my room, what the heck? A lot of that stuff is just because I've been deeply depressed. Because I got bipolar depression. I'm just gonna throw that out here right here and now. I've just been so down on my luck. I felt absolutely hopeless about my life and about whether or not all of this unpacking stuff would even finish, if there would ever be an ending. Let me tell you, the ending was the most bitter, not even sweet, the most bitter thing I have dealt with. This was something we had hoped to finish The before Valentine's Day, preferably. No, 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 no. See, here's the thing with mom. Whatever her priorities are, no matter how important they are to the grand scheme of things, she won't be happy unless something's done her way. Exactly her way. My whole family is stubborn. Everyone is stubborn. My stubbornness doesn't even compare to their stubbornness. Tenfold. So we are to a point where we have gotten the living room done. We have gotten just about basically every room done. The kitchen looks nice, aside from maybe one drawer that things were misaligned in, but I'm not going to mention that to mom if I can help it. Um, Most of the bedrooms are done. The only thing that's not done is the crafts room upstairs. And all we have to do, the thing mom said, and I hold her responsible for this, is the last thing we would do, period, to end off the whole unpacking thing and to be 100% done with that. We would not have to go over 3 days a week or more to unpack or pack things up. The definitive last thing would be to organize the bookshelf and put the books in the correct order mom would want them. But here's the kicker. Mom was distracted with something else that day. Like trying to find books in boxes. I guess the other night, not not the actual other night. I'm just kind of confused about when this happened. I guess it was all last week. So let's just say Wednesday, I think. Nah, I might say Monday. Monday, we were upstairs in the crafts room, or the new crafts room, and I decided I was going to start just putting the books in the case. They weren't going to be completely 100% organized, but we would have a start at getting that done because we were basically just done. Mom said, and I quote, the only other things we probably have to do in that room is organize the craft stuff on the shelf so it looks nice and organize the books. That was it. Check and mate. But as I procrastinatedly try to say, it's never that easy. When mom's mind wanders to something that quote unquote needs to be done, sometimes, and I say this with the greatest grain of salt, sometimes it derails everything else we've been doing. So cut to Wednesday. Wednesday's supposed to be the last day. The very last day, last Wednesday. Well, last week's Wednesday was supposed to be the last day. Friday was Valentine's Day. I'll know it because it was the worst Valentine's Day I have ever had, and I will tell you why. When we walked into the living room, I was running a bit late. I blame Pokemon Go. I blame my ZTE phone. Mom won't buy it, but that's what happened. I was running a little late, so I got home. Mom was waiting for me. She sat us down and said, okay, here's what's going to happen. The living room needs to be cleaned up. I want the cabinets wiped down. I want the chair, because they have a dog. I want the chair to be cleaned up using a lint roller. And the kitchen doesn't look as nice as I'd want it to. So I want everything organized in the kitchen, the cabinets wiped off. I want the floors swept. And I can at least tell you that Columbo's had his head in his hands, mumbling and moaning. And we all felt the same way. It's like, Mother, we had only one room to do. One room to do. And she's like, nope, nope. I have all these things I want to complain to my apartment manager about, which, don't get me wrong, I'd complain about it too. There was still not a door on her bathroom, so she couldn't, you know, do her business or take a shower without a door there. So we had to avoid that bathroom at all cost. She had a whole list of complaints she was going to give to her apartment manager. Things that needed to be cleaned up, to be fixed completely. This is stuff that the apartment manager can't do until he and their lack of workers finishes everyone else's apartments. Here's the kicker. It wasn't just mom's apartment that was messed up. I have a person that I know of from this group, and he said that his cable stopped working after they worked on the place. We were not the only ones to get the worst moving treatment to our property and our belongings. So I can confidently say that every worker in Bristlecones did a horrible job. They should be fired on the spot. Moving past that, I just decided, well, first off, I told my mom on Wednesday, our priority needs to be the crafts room. After that, we can clean whatever you want us to clean. But our priority needs to be the craft room. So remember, Monday I had already started to try to organize the books. I knew it wasn't perfect, but I had organized them as best as I could. Well, I start trying to organize them again, and mom's saying, well, wait, why are you putting that there? And I know there's supposed to be more animal books. She kept asking about horse books. It's like, where are all the horse books? Well, I've gone through every single box, and there were only two horse books. No, 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 no. There's supposed to be more than two. And she basically told me to move aside. She wants to organize the books herself, which was fine and dandy. But then she's telling me to look for these horse books. It's like we went through nearly every single box. I can't think of a single box other than a few that were placed underneath her desk. Which, by the way, just just a quick thing. That desk is really heavy. It comes in three parts and they all need to be screwed together. I myself, all alone, was responsible for putting together that desk. And if I didn't have the strength I did, I could have gotten killed. Because that desk weighed more than myself, per se. And if that desk had collapsed on my neck, I would be dead right now. That said, where was I going with that? I guess I just wanted to mention it. So mom wanted to organize the books. And she wanted me to find the horse books. It's like, look in this container that is absolutely for crafts. And she said, well, no, there's books in there. Yeah, there's coloring books, adult coloring books. By the time I went through that whole giant Tupperware, I decided, screw it, I'm not doing this. Mom wants the living room and kitchen cleaned up. That's what I'm going to do. So without telling her a word, I left to go downstairs and clean. And every once in a while, I kept hearing my sister and mom and brother saying, "Oh, where's Brenton? Where's he? Is he doing anything productive?" And I spent the whole day just wiping things down, trying to make sure it looked as pristine as possible, hoping that they would get everything done upstairs. And that would be our last day. Wednesday would be it. I would have Valentine's Day free to myself. Nope, nope, nope. I'm not exactly sure what was wrong, but I think mom mentioned the upstairs bathroom. It's like the upstairs bathroom needs to be cleaned up. And that was also being run by my sister, who, as I said, made the room look like an episode of Hoarders. So the bathroom doesn't look clean either. It's like I don't even want to step in there. It's a mess. It is an absolute mess. So we were guaranteed to go over to mom's place on Friday last week, aka Valentine's Day. And it hurt me so much that that was the case. I was hoping it would be short. I was hoping it would be quick. I didn't quite use my Valentine's Day very well, but as I said before and will continue to keep saying, I have bipolar depression. Anything can set my mood off. Anything. Kind of what's happening right now on the live stream and the last live stream. I promise you guys, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. The first thing I wanted to do when I woke up on Valentine's Day was cry. I didn't feel like going on the computer, didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to cry into a pillow. And eventually I decided to look up blind date episodes on YouTube, a show that I used to watch before they took it off the air. Kind of a guilty pleasure, per se. I spent all my time leading up to the leading up to like 3 p.m. when I'm supposed to go over to mom's to quote unquote finish the job. When I got over there, no one else was there. Galaxy West wasn't okay, well, mom was there, but Galaxy West wasn't there, Coen Bros wasn't there, and my sister wasn't there. It was like, what the heck? And I was running late again, because again, Pokemon Go on my ZTE phone is stupid. And I shouldn't have even tried, but I did. I wanted to get a Pokestop, which meant I had to stop off at the bowling alley and wait about 2 to 5 minutes for my phone to cooperate. Both going from my apartment and turning it back on at the bowling alley. That way I could get a Pokestop stand. Not the most biggest priority, but still, to an avid or wannabe avid Pokemon Go player like me, it was kind of important. So after that, I get over to mom's apartment. The only other person there is my mom. And she starts talking to me about my sister's room. She's talking about that she's going to have my sister's going to have someone come over that she's not going to like to clean up her room. That could have been the end of it. No. Eventually Galaxy West shows up, or maybe it was already over. Whatever. Galaxy Wisp shows up, or was already there upstairs, and he's told to grab all the bedding from my sister's bed so it can be washed. He goes up there and he comes down with rarely anything. And the thing he said, which destroyed the entire day for me, let alone Valentine's Day in general, the thing he said is, it looks like a tornado hit the place. I don't know where anything is. Mom took that as an invitation, meaning she would go upstairs and look at the bedroom herself. And I can promise you, it was not a positive experience. I mean, she didn't freak out, luckily. She didn't have like a heart attack or anything like that, but she was not happy with my sister. And what she started doing was she said, we need to pick up after this place. Pick up all the papers, wrappers, candy wrappers. Okay, here's the thing. No disrespect to my sister, but she has a dog now. And common knowledge says dogs are not allowed to have chocolate. There were Twix and Milky Way and other various candy bar wrappers all over the room. I mean, they looked like they were licked clean, hopefully not by the dog. And under the bed was a whole bag of candy, all chocolates. You don't do that. You don't have chocolates in the same room as a dog. You don't. But remember when I said my whole family's stubborn? Yeah, that goes for my sister too. In fact, her stubbornness is equal to mom's, which means, oh boy, you're gonna have a H double hockey stick of a time dealing with those two and their varying viewpoints. So the whole idea was just to pick up after the room, just to make it look nice. But I know for a fact that my sister is going to hate us the moment she comes over. And the idea was she was walking her dog along with Cohen Bros. They come up to the room. She sees one of us carrying one of her belongings. It's like, what are you doing? And then she rushes upstairs like, Mom, why are you in my room? You're not allowed to be in here. This is my room. And I swear to God, this happened the whole rest of the day. And it gets worse. No, I'm serious. It gets worse. Some of those little pieces of paper, I made sure not to throw away her drawings because me and my brothers had that experience where our own artwork was thrown out and we were very upset about it. This was when we were kids, like 6, 10, 12 years old, something like that. We were livid about our artwork being thrown away. So I was just trying to make sure it was just these empty candy wrappers. For some reason, there were already drank soda cans or something like that. Stuff that were just like an empty berry package with no berries in it. It's like, why did you not throw this stuff out? It's just laying around. But some of that stuff, I kid you not, and I swear I didn't touch some of it. She goes through the garbage and says, you are throwing away postcards from my grandma, this one game card thing. Let me think. Oh yeah, it was from. Oh gosh, what is that RPG called? I can't remember. It was from a video game. It was something that requires you scan it on the video game to play. I'm still trying to remember what it's called. I want to say Aussie's in the name, but now that's making me think of Super Mario Odyssey, and that's obviously not the game. Did it start with an O? I don't remember. I don't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me later. But apparently, we were throwing away sentimental stuff. And my sister had had it. I mean, she had had it the moment she knew we were doing this, but she was crying and begging to mom, which, by the way, I decided just to go downstairs again because she said, my mom, the cabinets need to be cleaned again, even though they were cleaned 2 days ago. Two! Two! She wanted it done all over again. If I were a physical violent person, I would probably backhand smack someone. Not gonna name names. But she wanted the kitchen, the living room, the cabinets, the decor, the couch, everything cleaned all over again after I did all of it 2 days ago, and I was very upset. But I kept it to myself because I have learned something. If I show even a hint of negative emotion around my mom, she's going to think that I need to take straight up pills, medication. And I have had some bad, almost nearly fatal experiences with medication. And I've decided to swear off medication as long as I can live. As long as it's not like some really big health risk where I have to take it or else I could have a heart attack or die or something like this. My gosh, this conversation is getting morbid. So much for not getting upset during the stream. I'm just pouring my heart out. Like I said, I wear my heart on my sleeves. I don't keep anything to myself, usually. Unless it's like super duper personal, I know it's gonna hurt someone who I know watches these videos. And luckily, my mom doesn't. And I doubt Padfoot is going to find it. I probably just said too much there. But anyways, Valentine's Day. Worst Valentine's Day of my life. There was like almost absolutely no love. The only hint of Valentine's Day was when Cohen Bros came upstairs and gave my mom a bag of candy saying Happy Valentine's Day while my sister is screaming, crying, and having a cow. So back to my sister. She has had it with mom. In fact, I was actually kind of legitimately fearing the worst that there would be bodily harm done. Luckily that wasn't the case. Thank goodness that wasn't the case. But my sister started begging my mom in tears that if she and Cohen Bros, because she trusts Coda over anyone else, including sometimes myself, which sort of hurts, but I'll get over it. She wanted her and Cohen Bros only to be in that room organizing her stuff. And mom kept saying, no, no. She was trying to be reserved. She was trying to be calm, which I can respect her for. But it was just this back and forth over and over and over again. It's like, please, I can organize it the way I want it. And one of mom's arguments, which I absolutely hate, is she was saying that ever since Riley, okay, slip of the tongue there. Ever since my sister um got her room, which was in her words over 3 months ago, well, probably longer than that. Ever since my sister got her own room, it has always been a mess. And yes, part of that is true, but she was talking about that room in particular. And every one of us, my sister and me and Combos, was saying, no, she's not had this particular room for over 4 months. She's had only 4 weeks. Because remember, my sister wanted to move to a bigger room after all their stuff was moved and quote unquote partially broken. Once the renovations to the apartment were done. I'm sorry if I'm just going all over the place here and you don't understand what I'm talking about, but that's how much of a mess it was. So again, mom and my sister are arguing. It's like, please let me do my room. No. Please let me do my room. No. Please let me do my room. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 blah, blah, blah. Finally, and I'm surprised this even happened at all. Finally, my mom caved in. She was upset. One of the things that Galaxy Wisp sort of kind of does, not a bad habit, I'll try not to get too far into it, is if he feels like something should be done a certain way, he will argue his case. So now we got 3 people arguing at each other. My mom got so upset, she snapped at Galaxy Wisp. It's like, stop talking to me like that. She was like really serious, up in his face. That was probably the most intense moment of the night. So that intensity returns a little bit later on. And after like the 1000th time of my sister begging mom to leave her room so she can organize it herself, my mom said, fine, fine, do whatever. But you are not allowed to have any dinner until that whole entire room is done. And I inspect it and I give you the okay. You are not allowed to leave that room. You are not even allowed to talk until that entire room is cleaned up and passes my own inspection. Until then, you're not allowed to leave. You're not allowed to have dinner. And I don't want to hear you say another word. I had it at that point. I had it. But instead of lashing out, instead of throwing my own voice out, which sometimes I've done, I try to be as let me think. I try to be as much of a pacifist as I can. But if I feel like my words aren't getting out, I will lash out with my words. I don't know. I just thought I should say something like that. Boy, I can't concentrate right now. How many Slowpoke have I hatched? I don't know. I haven't been counting them. Luckily, I've changed the boxes where it has a number that says how many Slowpoke end up in that box. Like we start at 30, then it goes to 60, then 90, then 110, I believe. That sort of thing. So I can count all those up and then add it with the Slowpoke with the number, which I believe was 210. And I will figure out how many Slowpokes I've hatched in total. So, anyways, going back and hopefully ending this whole story, which I'm pretty sure I've been talking about for over 30 minutes now. I had had it with mom, with my sister, and with the whole dang moving thing. The last thing I remember my mom saying is that once I'm done cleaning everything, kitchen cabinets, living room, kitchen, blah, 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 that I'll be done. And I took those words very seriously. See, dinner was really late. It was like around 8 o'clock by the time I finished cleaning. And my mom had went into this other room, which was clean at the moment. But then someone, don't know who, but someone started moving things around and it was a mess. The fun never ends. So I went to mom. The pizza was in the oven. I said, I'm going home. It's like, don't you want food? No, I don't feel hungry. That was it. I left. Didn't even say I love you. I just left. Went home and fell asleep watching more Blind Date on YouTube. And I swore to myself, and Coen Brothers did the same thing, possibly Galaxy Quest, but I swore that I would try to avoid any interaction with my mom for an entire week. Which, by the way, didn't happen very well because I ended up giving ginger snap cookies to my sister who got sick and wanted me to come over last night to give cookies to my mom because my mom has a sugar deficiency problem. Like, if she doesn't have enough blood sugar, I guess I don't know if it's um fatal. I think it could be fatal. But basically, my mom would have some kind of adverse reaction. My mom has all sorts of problems. I'm not going to get into it. But I vowed I wasn't going to go back and do anything more. But I was not sure. This was all done Friday. Galaxy West would convince my mom that we would not work on weekends because he's kind of selfish like that. He puts YouTube over everyone and everything else. Um, but I feared that my mom last Monday would call and say, we're not done. Get your butt over here so we can organize more rooms and clean the same things we already cleaned. I legitimately thought that it wasn't over, that it might not even be over for another week. I had that type of fear. I wanted to trick myself and believe that it was over, that everything was unpacked, everything was moved, everything was quote unquote cleaned up to mom's standards. My sister would have another meltdown during the weekend where I guess a service coordinator would come in and clean up her place. I don't know how aggressive or passive that would be. But I really wasn't sure it was over. But Combo said, I will not do another thing. I will not go over to her house after Valentine's Day. In fact, this is real. He said that he and Riley, he and the sister did not finish cleaning the room till 3 in the morning. 3 a.m. He did not leave my mom's house, did not leave that room. I can't imagine what happened with dinner. But the one time my mom called for those cookies, she has not mentioned anything about the apartment. So I think I can confidently, thankfully, joyously say the unpacking's over. It's over. I don't really expect to get anything out of it. My mom said that she would take us out to dinner. She would pay for our dinner. But one, I don't think that's going to happen because, like I said, she has money problems. She has bills she has yet to pay. And two, we deserve more than that. For all the, boy, I want to cuss right now. Boy, I want to say some profanity. For all the bunk we put up with, a free dinner was not worth it. We're talking over 4 months of packing, unpacking, dealing with other people's carelessness, and dealing with my mom's problems and my sister's problems for 3 or more days each and every single week, to a point where Christmas basically could have been canceled and Valentine's Day looked like it didn't even exist. We deserve more than one free dinner. I'm not trying to be selfish. I am being truthful. Those were the worst 4 months I can ever remember having. Don't get me wrong, I've had worse days, but there was nothing pleasant about that whole entire moving experience. Nothing. I think the only thing I got out of it, and maybe because I'm saying this now, I should be a little less selfish, but the only thing I really truly got out of that was a new coat, over $100, and new gloves that were around 50. Because my old coat was not weather resistant, so when it was raining, rain was actually seeping into the coat, and the gloves had holes in them. Not big giant holes, but patches where there used to be material, but now there's just leather, which anything wet like snow could seep through. And this only happened because, remember, this is still part of the packing thing, but I was supposed to remove every single piece of sawdust, or at least that's what I thought she wanted, out of the snow, out of her lawn. Now, that was a little bit miscommunicated because she just wanted it shoveled off to the side. But me? No, 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 no. I took it a step further. I tried to shovel all sawdust, putting it into boxes that would crumble up, and then sometimes not even having a shovel to work with. I took all that snow and took it all the way across an icy street. Snow is sawdust, and put it in or near the dumpster. All of it. And I didn't even get all the sawdust. But I came to a point where Mom wanted me to just do just that. And I gave up. I just walked home after like 2 to 3 hours of being outside in the dark where I could barely see anything. And I thought I got all the sawdust, but then I came over the next time and there was still sawdust everywhere. I came to a point where I didn't want to talk to mom and I would just come over without her knowing and just get rid of sawdust on my own. But even though she thought I was making too big of a deal of it, she sat me down. We talked it over. We came to an agreement. We patched things up about the sawdust, and I wasn't going to do it anymore. I found out from not my, but her apartment manager that once spring came and all the snow was gone permanently, that they would tend to all the sawdust and get rid of it. Which, they've been doing a good job with everything else. Sure, I trust that. I trust that, really. But after that whole meeting, heart to heart, my mom called me on Sunday while my brothers were over at my apartment and said, "Hey, can you help us with the groceries? There's something good in it for you." And while I was reluctant to do it, I did help. And that is when I got my new coat and my new gloves. That is the only thing I got out of this whole packing, unpacking thing, which is fine and all. I'm happy to have something warmer to wear, something where I feel like I have to use a broken umbrella, another story for another day, to keep myself from, I guess, well, I guess from the rain first off, but to be maybe a little bit over exaggerated to keep myself from catching hypothermia. Regardless, my brothers didn't even get coat and gloves. The only promise they got, and I feel like this is just kind of a half promise at this point, is that she would take us out to dinner. But with all the arguing, all the things that she had us do multiple times, all the miscommunication, everything, ruining Valentine's Day to a point where I had to break hearts of people I talk to or have tried to talk to on a regular basis, although I'm bad with that as well. I I am very dissatisfied with this whole experience. The ending was just bitter. Not bittersweet, just bitter. There wasn't even a good job. We did it. You should all feel proud of yourselves. I love you. I mean, my mom did say I love you a couple of times, especially after the whole snow and sawdust thing. But the finale to this packing, unpacking thing feels incomplete. It feels like we left off on the most sour of notes. And no one's happy. My mom might be a little bit more happy because she doesn't have to get out of her chair to tell us where to put things and everything's where it needs to be. She feels content about how her place looks, but everyone else is just dead inside. Absolutely 100% dead inside. And I still feel like that. I'm trying to recover from this whole thing, and maybe I'm exaggerating about how long it takes to recover, but mentally, I'm just not in a healthy place mentally. Not saying I'm going to do anything drastic like harm myself because I know better. I'm smart enough to know that I have good things in my life still. I have a nice TV. I have a working Switch, even if the Pro controller and the Joy Cons have drifting problems. I have a roof over my head, even if the place is a pigsty. My mom does love me. She does some weird, bad things sometimes when it comes to parenting. I know I could have it worse. And I know there are people who do have it worse. But some of the stuff I deal with and my state of mind put on top of that, it makes it hard for me to get out of bed certain days or just to even record a video or even decide to live stream. I just have so much mental instability and such a hectic life. Even though I am not working for my own paycheck, even though I'm not going to school or college, it's still hard for me. It's still very mentally, emotionally, and sometimes even physically hard for me. But life goes on, and there's certain things I can't talk to certain people about. My counselor is going to have a field day today when I talk to him about half of the things I just talked to all of you about. See, he doesn't know about the whole Valentine's Day thing. I was tempted to call him and tell him on the phone, but I kept it to myself. I decided just to hold back, to just be stoic. That's the main word, stoic. I feel like a lot of times I have to bury my feelings and be as stoic as possible for myself to keep myself from crying, from um, going on an outrage. But as I said, I just mostly feel empty. I feel dead inside. After this whole experience, I feel nothing but emptiness. I don't feel like we left off on a good note. And I still feel like there's going to still be some um I guess some fractures in the relationship after this whole thing's been done. My family's already fractured. Like, look at me spewing my heart out on a live stream. And no one to talk to. I'm not gonna go into a whole frenzy about having 400 subscribers and no one watching me. Been there, done that. I already vented most of my frustration today. I don't want to get into another ordeal. I just don't. This might be the part where I just silently play the game, even though someone just showed up. Don't know who that person is. Don't know if they're going to leave a comment, but thanks for checking out the stream after I just went on a huge venting spree about how terrible my last 4 months have been and how I've had the worst Valentine's Day. And the person's gone. Perfect. Scared them away. Perfect. My eyes are dry. There are times where I just silently cry to myself and just get all the tears out, and then I just feel like I can't cry anymore. Kind of part of the whole stoic thing. Anyways, I have said a whole hour of complaints, and I feel like there's just nothing more to be said. So, I think it's time I sit back and quietly play the game without any more commentary whatsoever unless someone shows up in the live chat. Sound good? Good, because I want to get this whole shiny Slowpoke thing done sooner than later. I still gotta do the shiny Galarian Ponyta. I've got something planned for at least the week of Pokemon Day. Something supposedly on Pokemon Day if I can get everything situated correctly. It's gonna be a long day. Luckily, aside from counseling and meeting with this group of people, I don't think there's gonna be anything else I have to do today. I could spend some time and visit with Planet Shy Guy, especially since I've been shirking him off for a couple of months now. But I don't know if I can muster the energy to do that. But at the same time, when am I going to have the energy to do it? Sometimes I just have to decide and tell myself, okay, I'm doing this no matter what. No matter how I feel, no matter how bad my day has been, no matter what aftermath I'm suffering through, I gotta do this. And I feel like that might be the case today. I feel like today I should maybe spend time with Plant Shy Guy, even though my heart's not really up to it. But as I said before, when am I going to be up to it? I have bipolar depression. Just watching a certain video is enough to make me start weeping. Like, well, just crying in general. I was going to do an analogy, but I don't think I can think of a proper analogy, or at least one that doesn't sound over the top and exaggerated. That's the other word of the day, exaggerated. That means that it's not entirely true. It's just kind of a little silly. Like I'm being a drama queen. Like I'm being making too much of a deal about it. I'm making it look better or worse than it actually is. As quoted on this kid's tape where I first learned the word, it's like saying, I love ice cream so much that I could eat 1,000,000 gallons of it. No one can eat 1,000,000 gallons of ice cream. Or that there's so many cows that there are some sleeping on the moon. All from a kid's cassette tape. Oh, wait, was it sheep? It was sheep, not cows, sheep. Doesn't matter though. I've said my piece. And after 5 more minutes of rambling, I have said everything I need to say. So I'm going to sit back for real and quietly play the game. Wish me luck. Ah. This has been 3 months, not 4. I started in December. Oops. Guess that was miscommunication. Oh well. Oh my gosh. Do I have eggs? Oh no! Oh no! I forgot to remove the Slowpoke. It's like I'm running around for so long. It's like, wait a minute. Do I even have eggs in my party? Nope. Nope. Just Slowpoke. Oh, how many boxes? Wow. Okay. Well, that was my bad. That was my bad. I got so distracted and so distraught with my old conversation. I forgot I wasn't even hatching anything. My bad. My bad, guys. Won't happen again. Sorry. You know, for the record, if there's ever a chance that I can hatch a shiny Tepig on this game, I'm going to need to be a lot more high energy and speed this whole hatching thing a lot faster. Especially if I want to be the first one to hatch a shiny Tepig on Pokemon Sword or Shield. It probably won't happen. I mean, first off, I'm not even sure if Tepig's going to be brought to or can be brought to Galar. I want to believe that all the starters can and should be brought to Galar, but there's no confirmation of that, so can't say I'll be able to bring my Bayleaf or my Superior or my Empoleon or Blaziken, like my very first Blaziken that helped me win my first Pokemon League and beat my first Pokemon game ever. Because, yeah, even though I've played Pokemon Blue and Gold, the first Pokemon game I ever beat was Pokemon Sapphire, the Hoenn region. So I'll always have that. And I've always kept my original Blaziken. Even though he doesn't have the hidden ability. So just a little bit of history there. Speaking of fun history, one thing that would be kind of neat to do at some point, probably on my Wii2Play channel, is with enough support and enough time and commitment. I'm not even sure if I can push myself to do it. I want to try to imitate the encounters, the shiny encounters that I had before I started YouTube. That's shiny Rhydon, 2 shiny Tepigs, shiny Poochyena from Alpha Sapphire while I was tiptoeing in the grass. What else? Shiny Spritzy wasn't that special. I mean, I probably should. I know the area where I found Shiny Spritzy more or less. So I guess I could do that. I guess there's Shiny Goomy for Pokemon X. That wasn't my shiny, that was for Syrup. There's Date, the shiny Charizard, but that's not much to see either. I'm talking about wild encounters and the way that I encountered them in the wild. Like with shiny Rhydon in Sinnoh, I was just trying to hatch eggs. Or when I hatched 2 shiny Tepigs in a row, I was near the water fountain at the PokeStars movie studio on Pokemon Black 2. You know, stuff like that. I don't necessarily have to hatch or catch that Pokemon in that exact location. I just have to mimic what it was like to do it and then find a shiny. Same with Kamisama. Same with my shiny Gyarados. Um, I always sort of kind of have footage for Shiny Clobbopus. I kind of cut out the part where I found a Galarian Meow, not Galarian, a Berserker before I found Shiny Clobbopus, but that's not that important. And then I do have like recorded footage of um me finding a shiny. Boy, I can't think right now. I probably haven't even removed the Slowpoke yet, have I? The shiny, not Grimmsnarl, but uh, not Impidimp. What was his name? Morgrim. That's what it was. Morgrim. I found a shiny Morgrim in a random max raid. It was that shiny Gengar I failed. I got both footage of me in the lobby room and then seeing it and then it cuts off. And then the only footage I have of the quote unquote soft lock, which basically it was a soft lock. The only footage of that is the flip video because there was like no reason for me to record a Switch version. And then I have footage, spoiler alert, of me getting a shiny or encountering a shiny Gigantamax Machamp the same day. Why am I stuttering all of a sudden? Also, I'm talking way longer than I thought I would. Oh boy. I gotta keep telling myself. When it comes to the shiny Galarian Ponyta after the first 100 encounters, I'm doing something radically different for the live stream. I don't know if it'll be the best or a good different, but it's something I feel would be a neat way of setting the tone and keeping myself from ruining my own stream with my own commentary. And for it to somewhat not be as repetitive, even though I'm still going around all of Glimwood just trying to find a single Galarian Ponyta so I can defeat it, add to the counter, and hopefully before 500 encounters, I would get it. I would be able to find a shiny Galarian Ponyta. But I haven't had any such luck since the Clobbopus. So there are absolutely no promises or guarantees anything like that's going to happen. I just know how I'm going to present the live stream. Spoiler alert, there'll be like no talking. Absolutely no talking whatsoever. So hopefully that won't bug you too much, even if the live chat is on. I might turn the live chat off, but it's probably not going to matter because more than likely no one is going to show up. But I've been wrong before. I've definitely been wrong before. Still, no matter what happens, I have an idea how I'm going to do the shiny Galarian Ponyta hunt once I get to 101 encounters. No, just 100 encounters in general. And I'm hoping that some people appreciate it. I don't know. I'll go into a little bit more context about it, just a little. I would like to have a shiny male Galarian Ponyta. Why male? Well, it will just, I don't know, it will counteract, sort of, or be a nice balance between the female Galarian Rapidash I have and the other Galarian Ponyta have, since they're both females. Destiny and Hope, respectfully. Not Hope, Fate. Hope is someone else. Destiny and Fate. My Galarian Ponyta and Galarian Rapidash. That's on my Pokemon Sword game. One of which was part of my Let's Play. I talk about needing to get back to it, but in truth, there's something else I'm worried about. And that's going further into the Let's Play. You see, if you were fortunate enough to watch up to this point, I am going to spoil something for you guys right here and now. I want, and this is going to take some work, and I haven't even started it. I want to live stream all of the finale and aftermath to Pokemon Sword, up to the point where, spoiler alert, I get to Wyvern City, or Weavern City. What is it called? What is it called? Probably have mispronounced it enough times. Winden. Not even close. Not even close. Where I get to Winden City, or just Winden in general, and I take on the gym challengers. I want to showcase all of it. Rose Tower, the Elite Four, Eternatus, all the way up to me taking on the side quest for Zacian, and even taking down the leader of the battle tower. That's the last thing. Me taking the leader down in the battle tower. That would be the last thing in that stream. It would be this whole gigantic long stream with intermissions where I open up Pokemon cards from not only Hidden Fates, but the new Pokemon Sword and Shield base set, which I have an Elite Trainer box, completely unopened, that I would do that from. And that would be during intermissions. That would be during the quote unquote end of the episodes. But that's going to take a lot of work to put together, and I haven't started. I really haven't started. I'm still trying to get over this whole unpacking thing mentally and emotionally. And there were other things I was doing, like trying to renew my ID, which didn't work out so well. They got this new star system where you have to have a star on your ID, but you have to bring in additional paperwork. And when I did go in to get my ID, I didn't have that paperwork, so I didn't get the ID. It cost $10 to get the ID. I could get the ID without the star, but then it would cost another $10 to get the star on said ID. So instead of spending $20, I'm waiting until I can find all the correct paperwork so I can get this stupid star on my stupid ID. But aside from that, I've been trying to make some YouTube videos. I watched Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters. Great movie. I'm not sure if I can say I like it more than Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu had its own kind of special charm, and I think there were a lot more Easter eggs in that than there were in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. But I do love the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I think it was done really well, especially with the redesign of Sonic. And without going into spoilers, I was very satisfied with the ending. Aside from that, I've been watching YouTube, lazing around, procrastinating. I did finally finish watching America's Got Talent. I recorded um, the two finale episodes for America's Got Talent uh, Champions. Don't know why it took me so long to remember that. My point being is with all the little and quote unquote big things that I've been doing, whether productive or not, I have not started to edit, convert, or upload anything that has to do with my Pokemon Sword Let's Play. Even though next week I really would love to stream the finale. Just to my biggest friends, fans, and fans. The people I know like to watch me play Pokemon that do interact with me. I won't spam play Fortnite or Super Mario Maker in the chat room. Or at least Fortnite. By the way, I'm pretty sure Chapter 2, Season 2 is up now, and I haven't seen it yet. Missed all the rest of Season 1. Didn't even do the Valentine's Day event. And oh my gosh, I am still talking. Do I have Slowpoke in my party right now? Am I still doing that stunt? Yes, I am. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, now I said my other piece of unnecessary information. It's 9:43. I have to stop before 10:20. I probably want to stop sooner than that because if I'm going to mess around with my Pokemon Go app, I need to give it more than 5 minutes for it to fire up, especially with the internet connection or just the connection in general, how weak the connection is for my phone. I'm telling you, $60 ZTE phone was the worst purchase I've ever made. And yet it's the only phone that works with Pokemon Go. The Ultimate 2, which I bought online and is leagues above the LG? No, ZTE phone I have. Even though Android's only 4.3 and not 6.0, Ultimate 2 is a way better phone, even if it's outdated. It's way better than the ZTE phone I have. Someday, and I know I keep saying this, but someday I will get a new phone and I will be very tempted to record myself destroying that ZTE phone because it gave me more pain than anything. From the moment I started to try to use it with my first raid battles, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. And nothing has changed from that. It is a toxic relationship that I have to endure if I'm going to play Pokemon Go at all. Absolutely toxic, though. Okay, gonna sit back now. Try to shut my mouth. Hopefully a shiny doesn't happen here. Nope, okay. Alright, I'm just gonna shut up and play for the next, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes, something like that. We'll just have to see what happens. Mm. Pseudo method still takes too long. Alright, not gonna forget this time. Not gonna forget this time. Wow, I've hatched 120 today. Okay, not 120, but it's getting close. It's past 100 now. Once again, I want to make sure I clear out one whole box before I quit. Come on, just show me a golden sheen already. It'd go great with that golden background. Ah, get impatient at times. You know, hold on. Eventually, I'm gonna have to play Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz again. Secret World 10's not gonna earn itself. So eventually, I gotta stop playing Pokemon. Ugh. like I'm gonna hatch less eggs than last time. Oh well. I'll do one more box after this, and then I'll call it quits. I think I can pull that off. Ooh, you're making me yawn, Slowpoke. That's not helpful. I had to wake up at 6 just to watch a direct. And I haven't gone back to sleep. Oh my gosh. All right, last box. Let me try to do the math here. So 210 plus 150. I should know this. I believe that's. I'm probably gonna have to pull out a calculator, but I believe it's 360 total. I believe. I'll figure it out later. But I believe it's 360. Because 210 I was just checking. I was just checking with myself. Oh, oh. 30 more to go. 30 more to go. And I'm gonna eat a bacon lettuce wrap or drink a 5-hour energy or something. Because the day has only begun, sadly. Oh, dang it, Slowpoke! You're making me yawn with that animation. How do you feel? That's what I thought you'd say. Hmm. I'm serious. I'm pretty sure I'm yawning more because I'm seeing Slowpokes. They're all using yawn on me nearly at the same time. The moment I'm still here. The moment I'm still mentally here. food's gonna taste so good once I earn it. Come on, ease up, stomach. You'll get your food soon. You know, progress like this makes me start thinking I'm doing the Masuda method wrong. But I've got a Slowpoke from America in the breeding center, and I got a Slowpoke that's from Japan in the breeding center. Two different regions. Granted, one of those regions is, well, I mean, granted, the American Slowpoke is my own, but that shouldn't make a difference. The Masuda method should still be working. I have the shiny charm, so I have the increased chance. Is this the right one? No, key items. I got the shiny charm. As soon as this thing stops blurring at a very inconvenient time, come on. Is it working? There it goes. Sheesh. I've got the shiny charm right here. It's right there. Can't can't deny that. So I got everything. I'm doing everything right. I've got everything I need. But it's just this RNG is killing me. It's not in my favor. Also, I've got slowpokes in my party. I know. I know. I just I was just thinking about that just now. No, they're eggs. What? When? When did I? Wow, okay. I'm so tired, I don't even remember replacing the slowpokes. This is not going to bode well today, especially if I'm going to go to Planet Shy Guy's place. Haven't confirmed that. He doesn't know it, but kind of better now than possibly later when it's more inconvenient for me. This is one pill I do have to swallow. Luckily, it doesn't have those really bad side effects. It's going to exhaust me more. But once it's done, it's done. He'll feel content. And I'll be just glad that I finally did it. Because I've got plans next week. I got plans, and none of those plans involve spending time with other people if I can help it. So if I'm going to go through with all my plans, or even half of what I'm thinking about, I need to get done with the less pleasant stuff this week. Or I just gotta get done with the things that are better to get them done early than to wait to get them done. Something like that. I'm still half tired, guys. I'm sure some food will help. I'm sure eating something will help with that. But I don't plan on eating until after I've cleared out a box of 30 eggs and replaced them all with Slowpokes. Again, certain shiny hunters and streamers make it look way easier than it sometimes actually is. Makes me long for the year where I found the shiny Ekans purely by accident and was super ecstatic about that. It's hard to find a moment like that or to replicate a moment quite like that. Even though I felt like maybe there was a part where I possibly celebrated a little too quickly, thinking that I'd already caught the shiny Ekans when the shiny Ekans was still shaking in the Pokeball. I was just so elated about the whole thing that I just wasn't even thinking about whether or not it would stay in the Pokeball. It's like, oh my gosh, I got shiny Ekans! I need the world to know. Well, the few people that watched it know. Yay. Again, this was something I wanted to have showcased on A Drive's channel, but he never responded to my email as far as I know, so I just kind of gave up. A moment where I could have had hundreds of people watching me encounter that shiny Ekans, and it just didn't happen. I could be as salty as I want about it, but the fact is, he just chose not to respond to me. Or maybe I didn't respond to him correctly. I don't know. I did clip it. Thank goodness I wasn't live streaming, so I could easily clip just that one part. I think the main problem was when I did talk to him, or when I did send the video, it was not high quality. It was not the HD AverMedia quality, which you later saw. It was just me pointing a flip video camera at the TV. So that might have been part of it. The other part maybe because I don't have face cam, but that shouldn't matter at all anyways, because he's shown footage of other people with amateur recording equipment getting a shiny. I don't know. I don't know. It's always going to be something that baffles me and I feel just kind of slightly disappointed with. I am more than happy about how my interaction with that shiny was. More so than just about any other shiny Pokemon I've recorded myself getting, including the shiny Pikipek. I definitely think the shiny Ekans was my best reaction ever to a shiny Pokemon because there was nothing expected about it. I was looking for female Ekans, came across two, they were male, decided not to catch them. It might have also had to do with the Joy-Cons. I was kind of a little nasty about that. Wasn't exactly super positive. Whatever the reason, A Drive didn't take my video, didn't respond to me. It's fine. No bad blood. I'm just sad that there was such a big moment where it could have got me more subscribers and just people to interact with me, people to legitimately look at my videos and tell me their thoughts, tell me what they like, tell me what they dislike, talk to me about more than just Final Fantasy. Well, okay, not Final Fantasy, but Kingdom Hearts, Fortnite, Super Mario Maker 2. I don't mind getting those comments, although I really hate the comments where all it says is just first and that's it. Guys, I'm just looking for some interaction. I'm a human being like all of you. I need some attention. I need someone to talk to. Otherwise, these tedious live streams are just not going to be fun for anyone. They're not fun for the people watching, and they're certainly not fun for me to do. It's just a lot more fun if I have someone to talk to, someone to interact with. You know, the whole teeny fish in a giant ocean where there are no other fish because all the other fish are looking at these bigger fish that are more sparkly and have better voices than I do, blah, blah, blah. That whole thing. It just would be nice if I could get more people to interact with me. I'm not looking for 1 million subs right now. I'm just looking for people that want to talk to me, that genuinely want to speak with me. Hopefully, they enjoy my content. They give me some advice. They support me. I just want that type of interactivity. And even on my Wii2Play channel, where I've got 445 subscribers, let's just say 445 subscribers. Even with that account, I barely get any interaction, and it hurts. But I'll stop talking about that because, you know, already covered that great deal on my last live stream I did. I'm getting hangry, guys. I can feel it in my stomach. It hurts. It really hurts. Feel it growling and grumbling. And I want to do something about it. I'm trying to stick it out, even though it's 10:16 and I'm running out of time. Probably shouldn't have done this box. Now I'm going to have to walk where I need to go. It's probably the case. I'm going to record a little longer than I wanted to because I got greedy. And nothing's going to come out of that greed. So Good job, me. Good job, Brenton. Once again, you pushed yourself too far. For some reason, I was envisioning that Slowpoke as a shiny after I said that message. After I said that. How ironic. And how ridiculous would that timing had been if I had left off on that note and there was a shiny Slowpoke that hatched from that egg. As I said on my Amazing Island video, I have a very active imagination. I can come up with some great scenarios, stuff that probably wouldn't happen. Or if it did happen, it'd be such a coincidence that people would people would believe it's staged or something like that. Somehow I had some moments like that, like when I got that gosh dang glitched out shiny shuckle while I was crying about something. I don't even remember what it was. All my stories start melding together after a while. I don't think it had to do with the violin. I think it had to do with something else. I don't know if it had to do with my sister not getting her laptop from mom before she was going to go back to my dad's in Arizona before my sister was kicked out of my dad's. Divorce is ugly. I hate it. It's gonna probably keep me from actually looking for a woman in my life. For my life, excuse me. I'm afraid of getting actually emotionally hurt by someone of a different gender. That keeps me from really just looking for someone to be in my life. If I have anyone in my life, it's someone that um one, it's a long distance type of relationship, as in that I can only really talk to them if I go online and find them on Discord or Slack. And two, it's not realistic, like IRL realistic type stuff. I don't want to feel sour about the quote unquote um, virtual girlfriend I have. But I have grown up long enough in my life and have been through so many things that have kind of changed my viewpoint where I have to just kind of question just, I guess, some of the, I don't know. I don't know. I just want the stream to end. I'm hungry. I'm late. I'm gonna miss my bus. I'm gonna have to walk all the way to my counseling appointment. No one came to my live stream. I'm still extremely bitter about this moving thing. I just want to do something I know I'll enjoy doing. Well, fortunately, I'm done with this box, so maybe I won't miss the bus. If I hurried right now and just quickly end the live stream. Maybe I'll still be able to make it. So we're going to stop here. Thanks for joining me for this bout, but it is time for me to log out. Just remember, no matter the feat, as long as you don't complain too much and you never give in or give up, keep at it. No matter what they say, there's no challenge you can't eventually beat. See you on the battlefield.